And inhaling abuse is one of the worst things that you can do because it kills your brain cells immediately. So I see that from his history. And then everything else he has, which the history is not great. We're going on the record. Court is calling 2020 CR 7235, State of Texas versus Moses Albert Martinez.
Hank Wilkins to the state, Your Honor.
For the defense,
Tilden Schaefer for Mr. Martinez.
are you Mr. Martinez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea on March 26th to count 1 and count 3. You entered a plea of guilty. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court found you guilty. And today we are here for sentencing. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment was to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,500 fine, and the state opposes your application, and they're taking a case into consideration. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have both parties had a chance to review the TAP evaluation? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No.
No objection to the state, Your Honor.
All right. Is there a reason there's like this long line over here? Oh, so here's the thing, off the record. I told every attorney, if y'all would just have a seat, if you put your file down, they're going to call you in the order of appearance. And just standing there, those steps don't count because you're not moving. So if y'all will have a seat, because you know what? The deputies have to keep an eye on the people in the box for security reasons. Thank you. All right, we're back on the record. State you're opposed.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Your Honor, the defendant has a pretty significant criminal history. It looks like in 2011, he was sentenced to 3 years in the prison for a drug offense. In 2013, he was sentenced to 6 years in the prison for a 1 to 4 gram drug offense, Your Honor. It doesn't look like, I don't believe that he'll be successful. He's placed on community supervision, Your Honor. So that's why we're asking for time, Your Honor.
All right, defense, do you have any witnesses?
Just my client, Your Honor.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Moses Martinez.
All right. Defense?
Mr. Martinez, can you explain to the court why it is you're asking her for probation despite your record?
Your Honor, because when I was on the run for these 4 years, I had a job and I have a new family with 3 stepkids, and I just wanted to see if you can give me a second chance to show you. I have a drug problem, but I feel like with a second chance.
Well, Moses, when you were arrested on this case that you pled guilty to, the judge found you guilty. You were high that day, is that correct?
Yes,
So
sir.
what were you high on?
I was high on heroin.
And you were found in the parking lot in the academy with 2 other young men with you, right, who also were arrested, who had been shoplifting, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So when the police investigated and searched the vehicle, they found syringes, they found heroin, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you were a heavy user at the time. And do you recall when I first met you and I was representing you, do you remember where you were as far as your drug addiction?
Yes, I was pretty lost. But actually, when I did go on the run, like I found a job with the Reliant moving company, and
Okay,
I've been.
All right, but I'm talking about back in the day when you first met me, before you went AWOL from court, you were a heavy user,
Yes,
correct?
yes, sir.
In fact, we didn't have a great relationship at that time, did we? You were pretty mad at me, weren't you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember.
You wanted me to get the case dismissed, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So since that time, you've been away, but how long have you been in jail since you got arrested on the warrant for missing court here?
The day after Valentine's.
Okay, so since February 15th, you've been in jail, so that's about, I don't know, 3 months, whatever. Okay. Would you say maybe your mind's a little clearer after cleaning out for 3 months?
Yes, sir.
Now, you're asking this judge for probation, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. But you're not asking to walk out of the courtroom today, are you? You're asking to go into inpatient
Yes. Yes, sir.
because you understand that you still need that level of help to make sure you don't slide back to using heroin.
Yes, sir.
You understand that until the day you die, you're going to be an addict.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're never going to beat it. You just manage it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you have a very long criminal history. Okay. A lot of it is drugs. Okay. And how old are you now?
I'll be 40 in a couple of months.
Do you want to spend the rest of your life going in and out of prison?
No, so
Why not?
I don't want to lose this family that I got.
I pass one, Mr.
Hi, Mr. Martinez. My name is Hank Wilkins. I'm one of the prosecutors here. If I ask you anything that you don't understand, just let me know. I'll try to phrase it, okay? Did your attorney go over this with you? This is the PSI, the pre-sentence investigation. Did he go over this with you?
Well, we can start.
Well, he was here previously.
You remember talking to somebody for them to put this together,
Yes,
somebody
sir.
for probation? Okay. So you remember talking to him about the day you got arrested? Okay. So do you remember what you told him about being at the academy?
Yeah, but that was the last one. Yes, I do remember.
Okay. You said that you were waiting in the truck and you didn't know they were stealing stuff, right? So do you feel like you're taking responsibility for why you got arrested?
Yeah.
You feel like you are, even despite what you told these folks.
Well, I mean, I know I gotta get punished, I was, what do they say, like, guilty by association.
Okay, so you feel like you are taking responsibility for the reason you're in court today. Okay, I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Any other questions?
Just one quick, Judge. Hopefully quick.
Oh, no, take your time.
Well, so the prosecutor just asked you that when you said in the PSI interview that you didn't know these two young men were shoplifting.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay, but you weren't saying that you weren't in possession of heroin, were you? No, or yes?
No, yeah, I had it.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah,
Nothing.
but the shoplifting, I didn't.
Okay,
Okay, nothing further.
all right. I have a question. These stepchildren you have, how old are they?
One's 13, one's 8, and one's 6.
All right, how long have you known their mother?
8 years,
I'm sorry?
8 years.
All right, so she knows about your criminal history?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
All right, anything else from either side? Court will hear argument.
Your Honor, we're asking for time. I don't believe that the defendant's taking responsibility here in this case. I think that's clear from the tap and from what he's said to the court today, Your Honor. So that's why we're asking for time.
All right, how much time are you asking for?
Judge, the last time he went for 6 years, we're asking for 6 years again.
All right,
Judge, I'm asking that you place him in intensive inpatient like the TAP had asked for. I think the TAP, I thought when I read the TAP, it said that he was highly motivated and they're asking for state ISF. So I would ask that you do that. If you just want to go off his criminal history, then you just have to give him time. If you look at him as a person.
oh, everybody knows I look at everyone as a person. I don't look at anybody as a criminal or defendant. We are human beings here.
So I think this is someone who's realizing he's just got to stop this behavior. He's not coming in here and asking you, hey, put me in inpatient, outpatient, or
Mhm.
what have you. He understands there's a wait for that bed. He understands that's a long program. He understands all those things. He understands the level of his addiction, Judge. So I'm asking that you place him on that probation, max him out as you need. If you're not inclined to give him probation, Judge, then I would ask that you give him a lower sentence, somewhere in the 4 to 5 year range.
All right, so this is what I see of his criminal history. Of his criminal history, I see that there was inhaling abuse. And inhaling abuse is one of the worst things that you can do because it kills your brain cells immediately. So I see that from his history. And then everything else he has, which the history is not great. I see possession of marijuana. I see possession less than a gram. I see possession 1 to 4 grams. He was sent to jail. I see another possession that was dismissed. Another possession that was dismissed. I see another possession in 2011 where he went to prison. I see a possession from 2013 where he went to prison. And now we're here with this case. And I know the case says possession with intent to deliver, but based upon the stipulations that the court has reviewed, there were items for using drugs, and it appeared that some had already been used because you could see the pipe with the heroin in it. So I'm going to give you a choice. Here are your choices. 1, I can sentence you to 6 years in the prison, or you can have inpatient treatment. But let me just tell you something about the inpatient treatment in this court, and let me tell you about probation in this court. I have people who tell me, who have never been to prison, they tell me, Judge, I would just go prison instead of doing your probation because your probation is hard. You know better than I do whether or not you can be successful at this or not successful at this. And what I will tell you, the only way that I'll consider giving you the probation is if you all decide to apply for deferred adjudication. And your counsel will tell you with deferred adjudication, the full range of punishment is available from the court, which would be 5 to 99 years or life in prison. Oh, I think he may need time to talk about it, because here's the thing. When people come, we can go off the record. When people come before me and they're trying to stay out of prison, you know what they'll tell me? I'll do probation for life. And believe it or not, there are some places where people are on probation for life. They will tell me, I'll do probation for life. I'll report every day. That's because you're looking at the immediate and not looking at long-term. So immediate for you, you don't want to go to prison. But I think your attorney needs to sit down and talk to you about this range of punishment, because what it will mean is if you come before me on a motion to revoke, and if it's deemed to be true, you're looking at 99 years in prison, not the cap of 10 that the state was offering you. So I'm going to give you some time to talk to your attorney about that, so you can look at it objectively and not, oh, I don't want to go to prison. You understand? So if you all will step back and discuss that. All right, we're back here on Moses Albert Martinez. Oh, what do you wish to do?
The 10 years probation.
All right, you want to pull the application for deferred?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am, for a second chance.
You're welcome. Oh, no, we're not done yet. They just need to fill out an application.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, no. Oh, no, it should not be the 26th on here. That's okay.
We signed one earlier. We just for regular probation.
There's nothing written on
This application for this type of probation. This is where it works.
Oh, somebody put March on there? Oh, you can just change it to me.
Like we just discussed.
All right, we're going to go back on the record on Moses Albert Martinez in 2020 R 7235. I have parties reannounced for the record for the state
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
defense.
Tilden Schaefer for Mr. Martinez.
All right, and you are Mr. Martinez, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so according to your original plea bargain agreement, it was a cap of 10 opposed. Are you asking that the court consider your application for deferred adjudication?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason a motion to revoke were filed, and if your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to apply for deferred adjudication?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court is going to find, as previously stated, counts 1 and counts 2, sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt. The court is going to grant your application for deferred adjudication. Court will place you on 10 years deferred adjudication. There's going to be a referral to felony drug court. And if he's not accepted, then he's going to safety. He's to remain in custody until he's transferred to felony drug court for safety. Upon release, there's to be 120 sober meetings in 120 days. The UA hotline until further notice. There's to be proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Field visits one time per month for 6 months. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. 300 hours of community service restitution. And the MRT. And parenting classes. Once the parenting classes are completed, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. The joy you're feeling now without going to prison, when probation gets hard for you, you need to remember this moment, the joy where you were telling me, oh, I'll do this. I'll report every day. Remember that when you have to report once a month. Remember that when probation is coming to your house for a field visit to make sure everything is okay. Do not come back to court and saying, oh, it's too hard. I have to do this and that. Remember, you were looking at going to prison. In this court, communication is key to be successful at probation. You need to let them know what the issues are happening in your life. I know sometimes I used to be a defense attorney. You would tell your client, don't tell them this, don't tell them that. But in this court, honesty is the best policy. If there's an issue, let them know. If after you come out of inpatient treatment and you feel like you're about to use again, let your probation officer know. If you feel like they're not addressing it, come to court. If I'm here, we'll address it. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
I just want to make sure, clarify for him mostly. You said no unsupervised contact with minors. And
Yes.
there are 3-step.
Yeah, no unsupervised contacts. And let me just tell you while I'm doing this, I don't just try to divide families and do all of this, but in the state you're in right now, you shouldn't be having contact with minors unless it's unsupervised, because you are not at the point in your life where you're clean and sober. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 3802 and 2024 CR 4234, State of Texas versus Anthony Cantu. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Nick Aguilar on behalf of Mr. Anthony Kennedy.
And are you Mr. Cantu?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, you entered a plea of guilty, applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your punishment be assessed at 8 years in the prison. Cases ought to run concurrently, and they are opposing your application for deferred adjudication. Are the parties ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Judge, when we entered our plea, you did not specifically ask for a PSI. You
Yes.
used those words. You just wanted
The criminal history and
criminal
the,
history and a gang thing.
yes,
I do not, I know some of my clients' criminal history. He does have a prior trip to the pen
okay.
on a sex related case. And he tells me that there is no gang history, never been documented as a gang, anything like that.
Okay. All right, the court has reviewed the criminal history. Is there anything from the defense?
No, Your Honor, other than if I could ask. Him.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
No.
All right, you can lower your hand and state your name for the record, please.
Anthony Cantu.
All right, defense.
Yeah, Mr. Cantu, you've expressed a desire to apply for deferred adjudication on these matters, correct? So what would you like to tell the judge concerning your application? Why should you get deferred?
To tell you the truth, that I had planned to to discuss with you because I didn't know what to say until now, but if there's any way you can try to give me the probation to be out there because I am close to losing custody of my son and of from the system, and I can't do no program while I'm incarcerated to try to get my son back. And we have a trial for my son, court for my son in July. And I was trying to see if there's possibility you can give me another chance to be out there so I can try to at least do the steps and the programs that they require me to do. So I can get close to having my first son. I never had one before. And
So have you had other children?
no,
So this is your first child ever?
first child.
Okay. You can continue.
And I just said, I really appreciate it if you would give me a chance to go out there to do my classes with what the CPS lady wanted me to do, drug crime classes and outpatient, inpatients. And if I completed it, I can always get my son back. By being locked up, because I can't do no programs, being PC.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Kennedy, you did have one prior supervision that did get revoked, correct? Can you tell the court why you got your supervision revoked?
Just for having a smartphone.
It was a sex registration supervision. You got revoked over having a smartphone.
Okay. All right. Here's the thing. I want you to know that, as I always tell everybody, I view everybody as a human being. I look at things and make a decision, and I'm always hopeful that I'm making the right decision. The problem is that I don't have a crystal ball. Like if I had a crystal ball, I could say, oh, I'm giving this person probation, they're going to commit a crime tomorrow. Or I'm sending this person to prison and they never would have committed a crime. I don't have that. So I just have to deal with what I have before me and the evidence that's presented to me. I don't think you would be a good candidate for probation. So I'm not going to grant your application. This is what the court is going to do. I'm going to find you guilty in each cause number. I'm going to sentence you to 5 years in the prison. I'm going to give you credit for any time served. The cause numbers were run concurrently, and I'm going to take into consideration 2024 CR 3367. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing from either side?
No, Your Honor, did I submit a dismissal on that already?
I am not sure. That file?
I can submit that to the court.
All right.
Nothing further from the.
All right. Sir, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? All right, because these are plea bargain agreements, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. And each cause number, I will request the therapeutic community, whether they place you in that community or not, you'll have to request it. I have no control over them doing that. Okay. All right. We can go off the record. Here's the thing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's already showing that you dismissed it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. Here's the thing. I know Child Protective Services, sometimes they will tell you, oh, if you do this and you do that, you get your child back. But based on your history, and I could be very wrong in this, based on your history, I don't think they're going to give you your child back. But you can still try and work towards that goal. Regardless, you still need to do parenting classes. And I hope that you're in contact with your attorney on the CPS side and let them know what's happening with you and give them names of relatives that you think would be a good placement for your child. All right, good luck to you. Court is calling 2023 CR 1855, State of Texas versus Pedro Guerra. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel S. Clark with the state of Texas.
Defense?
Travis Kettner, Your Honor, we're ready.
And are you Mr. Guerra?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, have you received all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor, we have.
All right, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, we're waiving the repeat offender enhancement allegation.
Any objection?
No, thank you, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Guerra, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated, third or more? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, ma'am, he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Guerra, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
Ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,500 fine. State recommends community supervision, a 2-year driver's license suspension, and ignition interlock for the full term. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State.
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 10 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 10 days in the Bear County Jail, and 250 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
State on exhibit 1 and all attachments.
You may continue to confer. Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court has a question. All right, he signed all the documents as Pedro Guerra. In the police reports, he's listed as Pedro Guerrero.
He is Guerra, Your Honor.
It's Guerra, Guerra.
All right, are you the person who committed the DWI on the date of April 24th, 2022?
Ma'am.
And is your address on North Frio Street? At the
99
time.
West Street,
No, at the time of this offense.
West Street.
Okay. So does anybody want to make a correction or do the AKA as a part of the indictment? And will there be any objections?
There's no objection, Judge. I didn't,
Judge, if you know, the state can move to amend the indictment, from Pedro Guerra, is it Guerrero or Guerra?
Guerrero. In the police report, his name is listed as Pedro Guerrero. And the indictments and all the stipulations is listed as Pedro Guerra.
And his correct name is Guerra.
get it, yes.
Okay,
All right, sir, do you acknowledge that your correct name is Pedro Guerra?
Guerra.
All right, did you give a driver's license to the officer when you spoke with him?
It's been a while, Judge. He may not remember.
All right. So I'll tell you, here are the issues, and I'll go forward with the plea. The issue is that on some parts of the page, they have him listed as Pedro Guerrero in the police report, and then other parts in the officer's synopsis is listed as Pedro Guerra. All right, so you're telling the court your name is actually Pedro Guerra?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yeah, there are, yes, ma'am. And I just want to speak to him a couple of things when we get a chance.
All right, you may proceed.
Judge, very briefly, my client is 69 years old. He no longer drives at all. And so I know normally there is a interlock, half the term and all that. So I wanted to make the court aware. So if you wanted to, have an alternate requirement. The other thing, Judge, my client survives only on Social Security. He can no longer work and does no longer work. And I know the fine was set at $2,500. So I didn't know if it would be able to, court be able to probate some of that or kind of work with him on that.
All right. This is what the court will do. The court is going to sentence you to 10 years in the prison. That will be suspended and probated for 10 years. There's a $2,500 fine probated.
Thank you, Judge.
There's going to be 2 years license suspension. The court is going to find that the defendant is indigent and unable to pay the court costs.
Thank you, Judge.
There will be ignition interlock for the full term. If defendant provides an affidavit of non-driving plus proof of non-ownership of a vehicle, then the court will allow for scram. There is to be 10 days in the Bexar County Jail as a condition of probation. Proof of employment or SSI within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be a TAP evaluation in custody. Following TAP recommendations. 120 sober support meetings in 120 days. There's to be a referral to felony drug court in custody. The victim impact panel live DWI education course. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Field visits 1 time per month for 4 months. Probation, is there anything else? Yes. We'll do regular random UAs. Is there anything else he needs?
No, Judge.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, thank you, Judge. So he'll be in jail for approximately 10 more days.
No, he'll be in jail for the TAP evaluation, and because as a condition of probation, it's statutory that he do the 10 days.
Oh, no, I understand, but just
Yeah.
so I can tell him, right?
Yes.
So, because I'm sure the tap when they're in custody, I know comes real quick, so.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, okay? All right, we're going to come back on June 17th. At that time, you'll need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court, even if it's from work. That's still good. What do y'all bake? Do y'all bake anything?
Bread that you eat.
Oh,
I probably make every bread that you eat.
oh, okay.
You eat.
Well, you know what?
You're putting
It's
on the
been-
spot here.
No, I will tell you, it's been a month and I've given up bread.
Wow.
So,
You
but I'm
gotta-
sorry. I mean, if
gotta
it'll
put
help
him
you.
out of work, Judge?
No, okay, you know what? Everyone else, that's just me. That's stuff I have to do. But, all right, once you sign the reset form, you will be excused. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I will eat a loaf of bread for you. Corian Volant.
That's
That's the same one that you gave me.
All right, so where are we on this case?
The same situation, Judge. We received a plea offer today, so I guess on that, maybe that 3-week date
All right,
to come
and
back.
that's June
17. I believe.
17th. All right, we'll bring you back on June 17th.
Thank you, Judge.
seat, ma'am.
Priscilla Batius. Hello. Hi. I'm liking the color combination.
These old rags.
Yeah, these are rags.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so today's plea deadline date.
Is it?
Yes,
Um,
because the offer was tendered on April 30th.
so we're definitely not, I don't recall the previous offer having been made, but apparently it was. We're not going to be accepting the state's offer, Judge.
All righty. So how long do y'all expect this jury trial to last?
2 days? Yeah, less than a week for sure.
All right, Norm, I need a jury trial date for criminal trial division. They're saying 2 days.
I think I'm not on vacation, but we have a specially set murder in here. I thought that week.
Oh,
Mary
what-
Diaz. I thought it was that week. I could be wrong.
Okay,
Are you thinking?
all right.
Mary Diaz.
That's July 16th.
16? Okay.
All right, so your jury trial date is going to be July 9th. Court will not accept any plea bargains in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court. You'll be brought over dressed in whatever civilian clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something different, you'll need to do a clothing exchange with your attorney. Counsel, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know.
I will, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so everyone, we're going to take our lunch break. And we'll be back at 1:35. And has she done her UA?
She's drinking some water right now.
Okay, all right.
I
Where's the warrant?
did a water.
Oh, this one, okay. Court is calling 2023 CR 8119, State of Texas versus Karen Marino. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense,
Lauren Lefton for Ms. Marino.
are you Karen Marino?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Karen Grace Marino who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 8119 for the offense of terroristic threat of family or household on October 11, 2023 for a period of 16 months? Is that you?
Yes.
State?
Yes, Your Honor, violated condition number 2, on or about the 10th day of November 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Karen Grace Moreno did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the supervision officer in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
We'll waive the remaining violation.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 2. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor.
Yes.
To revoke the individual offer deferred, assess a 30 days in the Bexar County Jail.
That is our understanding, Your Honor.
All right. So what has she done on probation? What have you done on probation? Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Karen Moore.
All right, what have you done on probation?
I just do the UAs and just report each month.
All right. Oh, yes, I see that because I see I'm not the one who placed her on probation. So when's the last time you were drug tested?
Last week. On
And-
Friday. I do it now every week on Friday. I
Oh.
did it last week, Friday.
All right, and if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I passed.
All right. So we're going to do a drug test. If you pass your drug test, then I'll follow your plea bargain agreement.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay?
And just so the court knows, Ms. Moreno was fully employed at Dunkin' Donuts. She did make arrangements for her employer for this, so she is responsible.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. All right, let's do the UA.
Okay, great. Thank you.